Today we'll be demonstrating something we're very excited about, the Xenos Repository. The Xenos Repository was specifically designed to store high-volume customer statements, electronic documents, and scanned images, and to deliver them across multiple channels to internal stakeholders and online customers in both static and interactive formats. In today's demo, you'll see the front-end user interface that we developed for the Xenos Repository. Built on top of the powerful Xenos Enterprise server, the biggest advantage of the Xenos Repository user interface is that it's available for every ECM system supported by our repository services. The repository services layer enables an abstracted interface to our repository as well as others. Since most of our customers are in financial services, we'll be using a bank statement to show how you can log in, search for statements, and then view those statements in PDF format as well as others. What we have here is the repository user interface, which is not only the front end for the Xenos repository, but also the repository services, which enables it to connect to multiple repositories. We have multiple users set up in this repository, but for the purposes of this demo, we'll be focusing on two of them, the administrator and April Black. April Black can only view her statements while the administrator can view all of the statements within the repository. First, we'll log in as April Black. Next, we'll go through April's application tree and locate her banking statements. Once we're done drilling down, we'll see that April actually has 12 statements in AFP format, which she can view from June 2011 to May 2012. If we click on the June statement, we'll see that one document is available for April to view. We can also see some metadata associated with it. Upon selecting and choosing to view it, the statement will be transformed to PDF and show up in the viewer. We can also view other statements. If April wanted to see all of her statements based on specific criteria, she could go into the search pane to do so. In this case, we're going to search for all documents she has access to within the banking statements. As expected, 12 will show up. Now, if she wanted to view multiple statements at once, she can simply select a couple and click on the View button. Now, using the multi-viewer, she can switch between those with ease. The transformation, of course, happens in the background. We just showed you some pretty simple stuff that you would expect from any user interface or repository. Logging in, searching for statements, and then viewing those statements in PDF format. In this specific example, a standard user logged into the system and was able to easily filter the data. This works well for individual users, but what about the internal users? They might be a customer service rep or a manager who needs to see everything. Not only do they need to see everything, they also need to see everything across many different parts of the system to offer the best service possible. We will now show you how a customer service rep can search for statements across several lines of business and then view them without having to go between multiple systems or even views. First, we'll log in as Global Admin, who has access to all statements. As with April, we will navigate down the tree to see the best bank statements. We will see that the admin has access to 15 statements within the file. Selecting the June statement for April Black will bring that statement up. If we navigate down into the telco statements, we'll see that we have access to a few here as well. Selecting one of these, we see it as a standard phone bill. Let's close out of that. Now, let's assume that this administrator is a customer service rep and April Black called in because she saw some discrepancies between her statements for June. Let's take a look at both of them side by side to see what's going on. Go into the search pane, go to Advanced Search, and put in April's account number along with the date. Select both the Best Bank application along with the Telco application to search against. When we hit Search, two statements come back, one for the Telco and one for Best Bank. Let's select both of these and view them. This will bring up our multi-viewer where the customer service rep can now switch between both statements with ease. Let's close out of everything and log out. What we just demonstrated was searching across multiple lines of business and viewing statements without having to go between multiple systems or even views. What you didn't see was that while the telco statement was stored as PDF, the banking statement was stored as AFP. Because this is all running on top of the repository services built into Xenos Enterprise server, the process of transforming is invisible to the users. Two PDFs were returned even though one was stored as AFP and one was stored as PDF. Let's log back in as April Black and see some of the other viewing options available to her. We'll log in as April Black. Like before, we'll navigate down to our banking statement and select it. If we look under her viewing options, we'll see that she has more options than just PDF. She has XML, CSV, and BIRT. If we select XML and click View, the statement will now be transformed to XML for April to view. If we select CSV, we can view the statement as CSV, which can be loaded into Excel or even imported into an accounting package. And finally, if we select BIRT, we can utilize Actuate's iServer to interactively view April Black's statement. We can sort the columns to see what the highest spend was of the month, we can sort on the date again to show the original view. Additionally, we can change the view to something that might be more indicative of what April wants to see, such as a line graph, where hovering over the points will show additional data. Of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg with BIRT, and there are more options available, such as custom dashboards, calculations within the window, and exporting to multiple application types. Really cool stuff, and the greatest thing about it, because this is an HTML5, the interface is available not only in your browser of choice, but also on your device of choice, tablets, or even mobile. Any data format can now be made available from any repository, in any format, on any device. We're truly the first software company to release such a fully functional product which enables all of this functionality out of the box without any custom coding, just using the Xenos Developer Studio and its drag and drop environment. Like what you saw or have any questions? Feel free to email me, visit the Xenos blog, or follow us on Twitter for our latest updates and news.